So you guys know I'm finishing up. I'm working on some AWS training, and I'm just kind of finishing up, wrapping up some review of the fundamentals. And one of the last things I wanted to talk about was Glacier. It's something I've been thinking about a little bit more lately because I've been using for years now. I've been using CrashPlan as my backup solution, and it seems to work great. I mean, I haven't actually really had um, much reason to ever get a restore uh, from CrashPlan, but it's my data. I'm very confident my data is protected, and it's been great over the years. But I'm very disappointed to hear that they're going to be getting out of the consumer business and they're going to a business only plan, which I can assume is only more expensive. So yeah, that's kind of disappointing. But I've been thinking more about Glacier. I've been thinking more about using AWS for a lot of things, including my hosting service and moving my websites over there, and possibly home backup from my home PC. So what is Glacier? So you're familiar with S3. Glacier is not S3. Glacier is a secure, durable, and super low cost cloud storage. And it's designed specifically for around data archiving and long-term backup. So, like we said, it's super inexpensive, like as little as 0.004 per gigabyte per month. So super cheap. So like we said, you're going to use it for infrequently accessed data because it's it's not a high performance disk. I mean, just getting your data back apparently isn't going to be super fast. And even just apparently browsing the Glacier file system is would be challenging. So, but one thing to be aware of is the cost for restore. I'm just kind of I haven't finished reading this article yet, but I was just Googling some Glacier stuff and I found this article from somebody saying how they ended up paying $150 for a single 60 gig download from Glacier. So I'm gonna look at that. But let me see here. Okay, I'm just kind of skimming it. Yeah, I'm not really sure the details, but I'm going to read more of it. But yeah, just be aware that that could be the cost. But I mean, you have to weigh the pros and cons. Like you're paying probably, hopefully, you're paying maybe far less than maybe I was paying with Crash Plan for my month-to-month usage, and so your upfront costs are low, but the cost to retrieve in the event would be high. But it all might work out. So let's take a look at Glacier a little bit more. First, let's go in here. We'll go to our dashboard. We're going to create our vault. Really not much to this. Like I said, this is going to be a short one. We're just going to create our vault, and then we're going to create a user, and at that time associate a policy with it, uh, with that specific vault. And yeah, and then you'll be able to download some kind of third-party program. There's a few out there. There's something called Cloudberry. There's another one called Fast Glacier, which is kind of funny because Glacier is not fast. So we'll call this test 22, and we'll go next. We got to give it a name. You can select notifications if you want, and yeah, that's like really not much to it here. We can select it and see some details here. If we had set up anything yet already, we would have seen some data being backed up, but we can see the date we created, inventory of the last upload, and there's some other things we can configure here, permissions, vault lock, and tags. So our vault is created now, right? Right. Okay. So that's all there is to that. We're going to grab this, the ARN. We might need that later. And we're going to go and create a user now and associate it with the vault. So it'll have permissions to access. So no, we have no user set up, so we'll go into users. And we'll go add new user, and we'll give it a name. 22G. Let's just go with programmatic access. We don't actually want this user to be able to access our console. We go permissions. Now we are going to attach an existing policy directly. Now we can do a search here. There's all kinds of default Amazon policies. We will search for Glacier, and we will select full access. Let's actually take a step back here. we're going to cancel this. Let's go into policies and let's create a new policy. So we're going to create a new specific policy that's out of the book, that's going to be specifically associated with our vault. And then when we create our user, we'll associate it with this new policy. So we go policy generator. We have the effect. We want an allow effect here. We're allowing our user that's going to be associated with this policy access. So we're going to select the service, AWS Glacier. And then our action, let's just say all actions. You can get pretty granular. You can see there's all kinds of options here. We won't get into that. And then we want to select the ARN name, which we copied from before. And there we go. So we go add statement. There's our vault. It's associated with the, specifically with our Glacier vault. So what do we do here? We'll go next step. And then we can add some more stuff there. If you're going to get into the JSON, do some programming, we're just going to create the policy, and the policy is going to be created. If you go into policies, you can go into customer managed, and you'll see our policy here that we just created. So now we'll go into users. Now we'll add user, give it a name, again, programmatic access, permissions, attach existing policy. We will select the type. We want to select customer managed, and there we go. So now this policy specifically is associated with our vault. So this user will have all the required permissions, and we go create user, and we are good. So you would be able to then go in here, get all the required credentials you have for your user, and then, yeah, and then like I said, you would download some kind of third-party tool. We'll do that sometime because I need to do that for my own system with Crash Plan going away. And you can then configure your backups to use AWS. I think I'll probably do another video on just the pricing around Glacier because I'm kind of concerned about some of the costs. And, I'm thinking about moving some more of my stuff into AWS, like my hosting service and my websites. And I want to understand, am I actually saving money through Amazon or am I not? So anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching.